I quit alcohol for 30 days and I feel better than ever.
You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video today, and today's video is a bit of a different one. I'm sure if you are a subscriber of mine, you'll already know that I was talking about quitting alcohol for 90 days. Well, today's a little bit of a treat for you because I'm going to talk about my journey over the last 30 days and how quitting alcohol has actually changed my life for the better for the past 30 days. So let's get into it. I made a little list of things I wanted to cover just so I didn't miss out anything. By the way, if you are new here, then stick around. I post videos about fitness, motivation, mental health, all of that jazz. I talk about tracking my food and just generally talk about my weight loss journey and just living a happy, healthy life. So if you're interested in those kind of videos, then definitely stick around, subscribe and enjoy. Okay, so no alcohol for 30 days. What changed? That I'm going to be talking about today in terms of going sober for the last 30 days are weight loss, energy and motivation, my goal setting, and my anxiety levels. So if you think any of those subjects or categories may relate to you, then this video may be one to watch. So make sure you stick around until the end and have a little chat with me and discussion with me in the comments about this, because I am really interested in hearing everyone's story. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about a little bit of a backstory about me. I'm not going to ramble on too much, but I just feel like it'll be more relevant if you understand what kind of background I have with alcohol and all that kind of stuff. So going back a few years, I was always a bit of a party girl since I was like a late teenager. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't start drinking when I was 18. I did start drinking when I was underage, and I don't advise anyone to do that because I feel like I killed off so many bloody brain cells by doing that. I feel like I could have been a much cleverer Imogen if I didn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of those brain cells are just gone and I'm not going to get them back, and it's just so sad. I probably started drinking, I don't know, like 14, 15. And I quickly became involved in a lot of binge drinking. I didn't ever drink in the week. I just found it boring. I only drank to get drunk. I never enjoyed a glass of wine or enjoyed a beer to start off with when I first started drinking alcohol. Then I went to university, and that is when I kind of like spiraled out of control, like most students do. Some students are sensible and they actually just don't do this, and that's my advice to you if you are going to uni. Obviously have fun and stuff, but just don't let it get too much where you're like spiraling out of control and you're solely just drinking and getting drunk every single day or 4 or 5 times a week, and you're not actually concentrating on anything else in your life, because you will regret it. Don't get me wrong, I've had some amazing nights out, like some incredible times, but I wish there was parts of my life where I didn't just binge drink and let that consume me. When I was in uni, I just ended up stopping exercising, turning to food for comfort and turning to alcohol for comfort. My university experience wasn't great at all. That's for another day, but I didn't have a great university experience in terms of like my flat life. I had a horrible boyfriend at the time, and it was just not a very good time for me at all. And the drinking just obviously didn't help that at all. It made it 10 times worse. I was just drinking because I was not in a very good place. And then I was piling the weight on. I ended up putting so much weight on. I ended up being, for my height as well, I'm very short. So I ended up putting on, I don't know, 3 or 4 stone. I wasn't healthy. I wasn't happy. I was really self-conscious, and I used to just use drink as a way to boost my confidence. I could never be in a group situation without alcohol because I was just too shy, too anxious, and alcohol was the confidence booster that I felt I needed at the time. Which now I know that you shouldn't be doing that. You should not be using alcohol as a confidence booster. That is when you get yourself into a mess and it's not good. We should all be confident and learn how to be confident without alcohol. So moving on. That now you know I was a party girl. Like, I love to party. I love to go out and have fun and have a lot to drink. That came crumbling down quite quickly. When I was 19, I went through a very traumatic time. I'm not going to go into detail about that because it's a very personal thing, and I haven't even told, there's not that many people that know about this, so I don't really want to go into detail about that. But it ended up with me being on antidepressants, and I basically quit alcohol for a period of time. And that was the first time I actually had gone through any part of my life, obviously other than being a child, but part of my young adult life, that was the first time I'd taken alcohol out of my life. And I think I did it for about, I want to say, it was definitely over a month. I want to say 6 weeks to 3 months I took out alcohol. And so that was the first time I'd stopped drinking. Then, obviously, a few years down the line, I ended up working in TV production, and I was loving my life again. I ended up meeting Liam in one of my TV jobs, and we both moved down to London. Again, at that time, I was a bit of a party girl again, getting back into the party spirit. I was still only, I think I was about 22, and obviously when you're 22, you're still in the party mindset. You still wanting to have fun, go out and meet new people, and yeah, that's like a normal thing for a 22-year-old. But then it started getting a bit too much again. Like, me and Liam loved a party, we loved going out, and it ended up taking over a week. And we didn't really notice it at the time, but then when we quit alcohol, you soon realise, wow, that I wasn't running at my optimum. Like, I was just letting the cogs turn, and I wasn't thinking about my actual health. And yeah, it just got too much. We came back from Ibiza and we was like, right, that's it, quitting alcohol. So we ended up doing a 6-month stint. Now, let me tell you, that 6 months was really hard. We ended up taking ourselves out of a lot of social situations because people will make you, if you take something like alcohol out of your life, people will make sure that you drink because it's built into our society that much. It's just socially acceptable to drink, and it's really socially unacceptable to not drink, which I find crazy, absolutely crazy, especially with like all of the mental health problems that we have in our country. Alcohol is a depressant. There's no doubt about that. That is science. It's a depressant. So if you're adding alcohol to someone's life who's already got mental health problems like depression, anxiety, or obviously there's so many different mental health problems, but if you're adding alcohol to that, then it's obviously not going to help the stuff that's in your mind. And I found that had a massive impact on my anxiety. And also depression as well, because there's no worse feeling than after a night out, you know, that just the dread and the fear that just comes over you, and you're probably still drunk from the night before, and it only sets in when you start to become hungover and you think, oh my God, what have I done, or what did I say last night? And it's just that embarrassment, and I just couldn't deal with that feeling anymore. It was just getting a bit of a joke, and like I was a bit of a joke in social situations just because I was the funny one who got really drunk and was just stupid. made a fool out of myself, and I was just kind of like the joke over the next few days with workmates or mates at uni or whatever. I'd be laughed at because of stupid things that I'd do. And I'm not really proud of that. I feel like obviously it's funny and it's light-hearted to not take yourself too seriously, but it got to the point where I just wasn't enjoying being the laughing stock of everybody, because it just got a bit too much. And especially when you're dealing with anxiety, that is the worst thing, when you've got people laughing at you. Like, no, I just didn't like that. And also, not only that, like when you actually think about it in a serious way, you put yourself in some dangerous situations when you're drunk, because you one, you don't care, and two, you're not thinking straight. So situations that you put yourself in when you're drunk, you would never dream of putting yourself in when you're sober. And that's one thing that I've totally learned now, and I've definitely learned the hard way. And I hope that when I have my own children and have my own daughters, that I can express that to them. And yeah, I hope other people can learn from my mistakes, because yeah, like you put yourself in dangerous situations, and especially as a woman as well. Obviously men as well, like you can find yourself in dangerous situations, but especially women, finding yourself in situations when you're drunk and you physically can't stand up or you can't walk, that's not a very good state to be putting yourself in. You're obviously at higher risk of things happening, and yeah, it's just not a good thing. So that obviously is serious side. But going back to like the fear, as I like to call it, yeah, the fear is just, it was just horrible. And I was finding myself really anxious for like days and weeks after a big heavy night out. And it was affecting everything. It was like affecting my work. It was affecting how I was in my jobs. And my overall confidence and self-esteem was just not there. And I definitely think alcohol played a big part of that. Obviously, it's not solely down to alcohol. I don't blame alcohol for everything. But I do think it's definitely a big factor in that. So now I want to talk about things that have improved since I've stopped drinking alcohol. Pardon me. So the first one is weight loss. Now, we all know that Imogen has put some weight on. I did a video. I'll put a little thing here. This video I did where I talk about my recent weight gain. I'm actually trying to lose weight at the moment, and I've lost 4 pounds. So I'm super happy about that. I've like massively stepped up my gym game and fitness game, and I've started aerial hoop and pole, and I'm hoping to shift the weight, because ideally I want to lose about 2 stone. So alcohol obviously doesn't help with weight loss and weight gain. When you have a heavy night out, all you want to do is eat junk the next day, and that just doesn't fit in with my fitness goals and where I want to be in the next few months. So alcohol just seems like it's just gonna make everything else step down, and I'm not gonna progress as quickly. So it just seemed like a natural progression, and it's not gonna help. Like every time that we'd have a massive night out, for the next 3 or 4 days we wouldn't go to the gym because we'd be feeling like rubbish, and it was just like a spiral effect. So that's why we've decided to do 90 days no alcohol. And plus, it's just good to just challenge yourself. Like a lot of people say, I would never be able to do that. I'd never be able to give up alcohol for a month, let alone 3 or 6 months. And the answer to that is yes, you can. You actually can. You'll be surprised what you can do. And when you push yourself to do something that you don't think that you can do, once you've achieved that, you literally feel so accomplished, and you just feel like, oh my god, I actually do have self-control. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just good. This is what I looked like before I started the 90-day no alcohol challenge, and this is 30 days into it, so this is now. So you can obviously notice a difference. Yeah, I notice a difference. I think I've lost a couple of inches off my waist. Overall, I just feel a lot better. I feel a lot more motivated, and that's what we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about energy and motivation 30 days into no alcohol. So, again, I just want to say, when I have a heavy night out, as much as you don't think it filters into your week, it definitely does. Like for me, when I was in the routine of just doing that every week, you don't notice that your energy levels are down because it's just constant. It's a constant circle of get drunk on Friday night, get drunk on Saturday night, spend all day on Sunday hungover in bed doing nothing, and then get up for work on Monday and do it all over again. Do Monday to Friday work, and then Thursday get drunk, Friday get drunk, Saturday get drunk, and then do it all over again. And your body doesn't know any different. It's just literally just churning it out constantly. And when me and Liam, we both had this conversation so many times, when we look back at previous jobs that we've had and look back at old photos and things, and just you can just see the tiredness in our faces. Like obviously we did have stressful jobs, and obviously what we do now, like it's not totally easy. Like it is stressful because we've got the pressure of it being just us and we don't have a boss, so you have to just get up and go and do it yourself. But the no alcohol thing definitely helps that. Like if you've got some big goals in mind, I would 100% think about quitting alcohol for a bit just to see how you feel. I just feel like I can do so much more. This is a funny story. The first couple of weeks doing this challenge, I think it was by the end of the second week, about 9:30 at night, I started just going around and started cleaning the house and started doing loads of washing and stuff. And Liam came in and was like, "What is wrong with you? Like, you literally look like you've taken drugs or something. Why are you whizzing round? Like, what is wrong with you?" And I was like, I don't know. I'm just getting on top of jobs. And then it just hit me like a switch. I was like, this is the first time in months where I've actually felt like I've got the energy to do all of the stuff that I've been leaving, like all of the stupid jobs, like just general jobs, that day-to-day jobs like washing and like organising and stuff like that. Like I started reorganising my whole bedroom because I was just motivated and I was pumped, and I was finally feeling like that cloud was lifting over weeks and weeks of just it churning it out, going out every single weekend and just feeling like rubbish the whole week, and then feeling slightly better on Thursday, Friday, you start getting that positive Friday feeling again, and then you want to do it all again, and then you just ruin it for the next 4 or 5 days. So yeah, I definitely do notice a difference now in my motivation and just like my positive outlook on things that I want to achieve. Yeah, I just feel like my energy levels are just 10 times better when I don't drink. And like for instance, the fact that I'm even doing aerial hoop and pole, that has been in the time when I've stopped drinking. And I don't think I would have done that if it wasn't for the stopping drinking, because I genuinely was just putting it on the back burner. I was thinking, yeah, I kind of want to do that, but I've just not got the mental capacity at the moment. And when you take out something so big as not drinking, you need to replace it with something positive. You need that habit to be replaced with something positive. And I've found that replacing it with like hoop or pole or even the gym, it just replaces that mental capacity, that old mental capacity that has been taken up by alcohol and binge drinking. You replace it with something positive, and then you don't miss We have not even thought about it. The last 30 days, it's not even entered our head. We even went to the pub with my dad and my stepmom last week, and we had a non-alcoholic gin and tonic. Like, we didn't even, I wasn't even missing it. Like, I was just like, I don't even feel like I need to have a drink. Which is a good headspace to be in, because I used to never go anywhere without having a drink, which is not a good thing. Next up, I'm going to talk about goal setting. I kind of touched upon that. I've got some big goals. I told you in my last video that I'm becoming a PT, a personal trainer, which I'm so excited about. And again, I don't think this would have actually been put into place if I didn't take alcohol out of the equation. It was just taking up too much headspace. I have some massive goals in mind for next year that include my personal training course. I'm starting that next month. I'm so excited. I've already started revising for the assessments. And yeah, I like goal setting. I've got some massive goals, and alcohol is just going to hinder my goals. It's not going to add anything. It's not going to be a positive influence on those goals. And I feel like I just really need to work on building my own confidence, my self-confidence, my self-esteem. And alcohol is just going to hinder that.